you want access to the maintenance schedule, you can scan this QR code. Now that the Chevy Cruze isn't leaking, I can finally work on my Yaris. 200 miles over 5,000 is nowhere near too terrible. Especially because we're only at 5,000, so I only need to do these items. So we'll go ahead and undo the oil fill cap. Cell 14 down here. There's the last thread, and just pull and yank. We'll go ahead and put that back in and tighten it up. Let's go ahead and slide this under the oil filter. Let's go ahead and loosen it a little bit. Grab a solo cup, spin the rest of it off, and minimal mess. Grab new filter, fill with the new filter, and spin it back on. Obviously, all you do from here is fill, but I don't like valve cover cases. So we'll hit it with the 10, and with those 4 off, it should just yank right up and come right out. Now, my old engine didn't look this gross because I didn't have that on there. I'll go ahead and put the nuts back on these. So we'll just grab one of these. And at least on the Yaris, once you get past the fill, you can just leave it there until the 1 quart's in. So 3 quarts gets me to the bottom of the dipstick. So we'll go ahead and spin this back on. And now that it's on the floor, we can now get an accurate reading of what the dipstick will be at to make sure we're right at the dot. And you should be able to see right there, we're right at the bottom of the top dot. Now from here, start it, check for leaks. Now a Yaris only has a dummy light, but with this application, I'll wait till it gets to 80 degrees C. And while we wait for the engine to get a temperature, I'll go ahead and swap out my fuse box cover with my old one that had solar on it. Obviously, with no solar panels, it's not going to produce any power, but I can at least see the battery voltage. And I noticed that there was a small crack in the ventilation filter, so I was going to change that. But then I realized there's no filter in there. So, yeah, let's get at least a filter in there. Now, you might notice that this is not the filter that goes to here, but with some modifications, I made it fit. Get the filters designed for your car. So that's at least in there, but then I also realized that the lever that goes here, that controls this thing, doesn't control the recirculation, so that's also broken. Fun. I'll have to fix that too. All right, so at least we're at temperature, and under the car there's no leaks. The drain plug's nice and dry, and the oil filter's nice and dry. The last thing I'll do is make sure all my tires are at 32 PSI. I'll go ahead and reset trip B, and it's January in '78 and beautiful outside, so I'm gonna go wash the engine.